Everything that you see written on my left is how not to learn sculpting. Okay. And the way that I know this, bro, is that you have been trying these things for a while now, and none of them has been working for you. Okay. You only need a few things, and that is a few muscle groups. You just need 1 hour a day. You don't need to practice for hours. You just need deliberate practice and good observation. And within a month, you should see significant results. If you've been trying to learn how to sculpt for over a month now and you don't have anything to show for, bro, you are practicing wrong. You've either have been learning these ways, and I will prove it to you. Okay. So when you focus on these things, here's what happens. You can read Vlad, how he mentioned that I've looked through over anatomy courses and gave up almost on the first watch. Let me know whatever, but this makes anatomy easy to understand, and it shows you how to read it, which is the important thing, bro. You don't need the name of the bones and the muscles. You don't need any of that. You don't need the planes of the head, whatever. Then you will get results like this. You can read Henry, who said that the best course I've seen in 5 years and probably the most intuitive and unoverwhelming. Okay, so you're able to teach anatomy in the most unique way that I have ever seen. And bro, more results. Okay. By the way, all of these testimonials are from my new anatomy course, which I just released last month. The link is on the description, but more on this later. Okay, I will give you all of the secrets in this video, and I promise I will not gatekeep anything because I'm not a dick, bro. I don't like being this guy who will be like, hey bro, I'm showing you this my pet, whatever. I don't want to gatekeep anything. I'm giving you the exact information that I share in my courses. Okay, and I will make anatomy easy for you, and I promise this will make sense. By the way, if you don't know me, then bro, I'm Ishaq, and I have 6 years of experience as a 3D generalist in the mobile game industry. I've been a top-rated freelancer on Upwork, and all this while I was extremely interested in sculpting, but I was in the same place as you. I was overwhelmed. I was learning from these old, retarded, outdated ways, and I was never able to make. I had these hit or misses with the low poly style, but the characters that I wanted to make, bro, they were not good. Okay, but now I make the characters that I'm proud of, and not only that, I help other people who are stuck achieve similar results in a matter of a few weeks. This is why I can tell you, if you've been trying to learn for more than a month and you don't have anything to show for, you're learning it wrong. Okay, you're learning it wrong. So in this video, let's dive into all of these secrets. What is this? What makes anatomy easy, bro? Why is it so hard? I will tell you everything. Okay. Make it full screen so you're not distracted. Just make it 2x so that you can get through this faster. And yeah, let's dive into it. So the old method of learning is this method. Okay, where you can see these diagrams. You're learning the name of the muscles, these complex terms, frontalis, temporalis, the depressor. Yeah, this is depressing. The depressor, labor inferior. No, bro. You're learning the skeletons. Where is the insertion point? Where is the attachment point? Where does it attach? Origin and everything, bro. You don't need that information. You're learning the planes of the head, which, by the way, is an exercise for 2D artists, so that they can understand how to make the lights and the shadows. You're memorizing these stupid things. You're buying stupid courses, wasting your money, and none of this works, bro. All of these methods, they are extremely slow. Okay, and no matter how many names you memorize, it does not help you move the needle. How? Just think logically, bro. How does memorizing name of the bones and the muscles will help you sculpt better? It does not. Instead, it just overwhelms you because because with all of this information, you don't know where to start, bro. And it's simply put, bro, it's not productive. Let me tell you the definition of productivity. Productivity, in simple terms, is basically output over input. That is the productivity that you need to know. So, for example, bro, if you've been inputting all of these information, these name of the bones and the muscles, and I don't know what, the stylization and this and the blocking out and this information, that information, this is all of your input, and the output is shit. You don't have anything to show for. Your productivity is 0. Okay, but similarly, let's say you've been practicing for just 1 hour a day, and your input is just 30 days. And after 30 days, you can comfortably sculpt the head or comfortably sculpt the body. You should be focusing on one thing at a time. So either be head, either a body. Now your productivity is high. Okay, this is productivity. If you have been spending so much time learning this and you don't have any output, but you have not been productive. I can sit in front of the computer for 2 hours, okay, memorizing the name of the bones and the muscles. I will feel productive that, hey, holy shit, bro, what a day. I just memorized all of the name of the bones and the muscles. but the output is I still cannot sculpt. I have met people, I have interacted with people, bro, who know anatomy, front and back, every bone and muscle. The only thing they can't do is sculpt. And that to me is just hilarious, bro. I call these people Jerrys. So Jerrys, yeah, they are a subject to be made fun of. And you've already tried learning this, bro. It's frustrating. You feel like, bro, I'm not born an artist, so maybe it's not for me. That's not the case, bro. Anyone can learn that. This is a skill. You've just been practicing wrong. It results in overwhelm. You feel like, bro, this isn't working for me. Maybe I should give up. And then your dream of making your favorite character, bro, you can just throw it out the window. You can really just throw it out the window, because with this method, I don't know how you will be able to do it. I struggled for years. And I just took it upon myself, bro, I will go through and I will filter the bullshit advice from the good advice, and I will teach anatomy in a way that is easy, okay? And the way that I teach is I stand by one principle, and that principle is the 80-20 principle, the Pareto's principle, okay? So what is the Pareto's principle? Let me put myself here, okay? What is the Pareto's principle? The Pareto's principle basically tells you that in order to learn anything, for everything in life, 20% of your effort will produce 80% results, and vice versa, by the way. So 80% of results will produce only a measly 20% result. 80% of effort will produce a measly 20% result. So an example is, this is complicated. Let me give you an example. I'm having this conversation with you right now. If someone wants to learn English, do you throw the dictionary and be like, hey bro, remember this? No. Okay, the dictionary has probably over 1 million words, but how many words do you use in day-to-day conversation? Not a lot, maybe even less than 20%. So in order to have 80% conversations with the whole wide world, you only use 20% of the vocabulary. Only 20% of the vocabulary of the whole dictionary matters. The same way, if you want to learn anatomy, if you want to learn sculpting, only 20% of information will allow you to make 80% sculpts that you see online. Isn't that cool? The bad thing about this is that the old way, the method that I just showed you, memorizing all of this shit, this is the way, the slow way. This is the outdated way. It's poop. It's vomit. Okay, only, and this is the way that I'm telling you. This is where 80% of your effort is only producing 20% result. And then you wonder, why is sculpting so hard, bro? Why is it taking so much time, bro? I've been trying to learn this for years, bro, but I still haven't learned anything. This is because you're making the wrong effort. You're focusing on the 80% stuff that is only giving you a measly 20%. That is why you are struggling. That is the old way. That is how not to practice sculpting, not how to learn sculpting. But my way, the way that I teach, is I only focus on the 20% effort that will get you 80% result. And that is just a few muscle groups. That is 1 hour a day only. And you practice deliberately and you just train your observation. So observation is something that you can train. This is the part that requires a bit of nourishment. And I will show you these things. Okay? In the examples ahead, I will show you all of this. But I promise you, bro, if you learn it this way, 20% effort, that is producing 80%, that is when you skyrocket your growth. This is why I tell you that if you're learning and you haven't seen any significant results within a month, you're practicing wrong. And this is because all of the results that I showed you previously, all of them focus on the 20% that is getting them 80% result. This is why I'm able to help so many people and make an impact, because I don't focus on this bullshit. I don't bullshit you. I don't care, bro. I don't know why. This is the thing that some artists, they want to say these things, these fancy names and fancy bones and fancy muscles and these complex terms in order to sound cool, in order to sound professional. I don't mind, bro. I don't care. I'll be the unprofessional person. I don't mind if you think, oh, stupid, bro, he's not learning. What I care about the most is getting you results. And if I don't have to say all of these fancy names and bones, I don't mind, bro. I don't mind being the asshole. I don't mind being the unprofessional artist who's not memorizing name of the bones and the muscles. I don't care, bro. I'm making the characters that I want. I'm helping other people make the characters that they want. So it doesn't matter. Okay? It doesn't matter. What I care about is your result. So here, let's do this exercise together. Let's try something. And it's going to blow your mind, bro. Okay? Okay. This is the old way, right? Where you're memorizing the names of the muscles and everything, and then still it's overwhelming. You're memorizing all of these skeletal names, the skull, caliber, I don't know, bro. The xiphoid process, what the hell is that? The femur, the whatever. We don't need any of this. All we will focus on is what I showed you just here. Okay. So let's take, for this example, let's take just the torso. Okay. The torso, you can see here, the collarbone. Okay. This is the landmark that we make. Then the only thing that you need to know is that the shoulder, it connects to 1/3 of the collarbone. So if I can draw this for you, let me draw it for you as well. So this is the collarbone, right? And this is almost 1/3. This is where the shoulder connects. This is also where the chest is. And then we have this void in between. The other thing that you need to know is that chest is a fan-shaped muscle and has 3 parts, where we have the upper, mid, and the lower chest. You don't need to memorize the names like the pectoralis major, pectoralis minor. No one cares about just the upper chest, middle chest, lower chest is fine. And by the way, gym analogy is a very good example of this. So if you go to the gym and your instructor says, "Hey, Ishaq, today we'll sculpt the rectus abdominis and the serratus anterior," I'll be like, "What the fuck? What? No, bro, I don't want to work with you." And then there's another dude who says, "Hey, Ishaq, today we will learn how to train the abs, how to train the obliques." I'll be like, "Yeah, sure, bro. Let's do it." But if you say these fancy names, bro, I'm going to run in the opposite direction. Okay. So gym analogy, gym terms are really good example. Oh, that is all you need to know. Okay. The chest is like a fan shape, and you will always find all of these fibers, they go and tuck here in the shoulder, right here. So all of these chest muscles, they will always go and tuck here. Second thing, and what you need to know about is the abs. So the abs are these muscles right here. And then the belly button is going to be on the 3rd pair of abs. So wherever the 3rd pair of the abs is, there is the belly button. And then below this, you maybe sometimes see the 4th and the 8th pack. And then very rarely will you ever see the 9th and the 10th pack. But mostly they do not exist. After the 6th pack, it's a flat area like this. Then on the side, you will see the saw-shaped muscles. So it's like sawtooth, and from the saw-shaped muscles, you will see these lines going towards the abs. Okay. And all of this, you can consider it to be one big muscle. That is it. That is all you need to know. Sometimes you will also see the rib cage here. In some cases, it's very prominent. In some cases, it's not. And finally, you just have to notice the rhythm from the side view. What do we mean by the rhythm from the side view? So the rhythm from the side view is you have to check these things. Okay. The chest, does it dip in? Does it come out? The abs, do they go in? You just have to check for this rhythm, because this can vary person to person, posture to posture. That is all you need to know. From the side, you also just check from the nose straight down. Is it ahead of the chest? Is it behind the chest? In this case, we can see that it's a bit ahead of the chest. Okay. That is all you need to know. This is all you need to know about the torso. And let's put this into practice. Okay. So here I loaded up some examples. And yeah, you can see this sculpt. So here you can see this is the chest muscle. You can see it's fan shaped. It tucks here in the shoulder. You can see this void in the 1/3 of the clavicle. You can see the first pair of abs, second pair of abs, third pair of abs. Here's the belly button. These saw-shaped muscles, you can't really see them, but you can see them here. Okay, these saw-shaped muscles. And from them, you can see straight lines coming to the abs and this big oblique muscle. That is it. Let's open up another example. Here's another example, bro. It's going to be the same thing. Notice the chest here. Notice how it connects to 1/3 of the clavicle. This is the shoulder. This is the chest. It's a fan-shaped muscle. It tucks in here under the shoulder. You can see the first pair of abs, second pair of abs, third pair of abs, and then the third pair, you see the belly button. You can see these saw-shaped muscles right here. And then you can draw these lines to follow the muscles to the abs. Once again, simple. Another reference. Let's check this out. Here you can see the same thing, bro. Here's the clavicle, and this is a skull, bro. It should have been about here, the 1/3, but it's okay. Anyways, you see the shoulder and the chest connecting here, the void here. Look at this fan-shaped muscle, very prominent in over here, and all tucking here under the shoulder, right here, under the shoulder. You can see the indication of the rib cage. You can see the first pair of, you can't really see the first pair of abs here, but it always should be here on the rib cage. This is the second pair, here's the third pair, and here's the belly button. The first pair should be here somewhere. And yeah, here you can see the saw-shaped muscle, very subtly. And from them you can see muscles coming towards the abs. Simple. Let's pick another reference. Let's just pick this reference. You can see the void here. You can see the chest here. You can see it's a fan shaped muscle tucking in between the shoulder. You can see the first pair of abs, second pair of abs, third pair of abs. Here's the belly button, saw shaped muscles here, and the lines coming towards the abs. It's the same drill on all of these references, even in the stylus reference. You can see here, once again, bro, the chest coming here, tucking under the shoulder. Okay, you can see the void here, almost on the 1/3 of the clavicle. You can see the first pair of abs, second pair of abs, third. Here's the belly button, saw-shaped muscles very prominent in this, and then lines coming towards the abs. You will see this in every single sculpt reference that you see. See, chest tucking in here, void here, saw-shaped muscles, abs, belly button on the third pair, and then lines going from the saw shape towards the abs. And yes, you can also see the rib cage here. Okay, you can see the subtle indication of the rib cage which forms this arc right here. And yeah, that is it. So easy, wasn't it? The thing is that Jerry's, they still think, no bro, anatomy has to be difficult. I have to remember the names, bro. It cannot be this simple. It's not true, bro. And then they just keep denying these things. They won't, they're not interested in the way that I'm teaching, bro. They still want to remember, I don't look like I must do it. Thinking because it's hard. But I've already shown you results, bro. And results don't lie. Okay? If you want a step-by-step way of learning, sculpting, making the bodies without overwhelm, you can check the link in the description. Or if you want to get started for absolutely free, bro, you can check out my free 1-month health sculpting challenge. It's absolutely free. It's step-by-step. This was a paid course. It's from my paid course. So there's no gatekeeping here. Absolutely free, bro. And then, yeah, of course, when you get result, you can decide whether you want to upgrade or not. And yeah, just subscribe, share, and let me know what you think of this video. Do you still want to be a Jerry, or have I opened your eyes? Let me know, bro. Here's a fist bump. Goodbye.